Hello and welcome. I would like us to continue on basics of SQL. In this lesson, we'll cover data definition language, that is DDL, and data manipulation language, that is DML. Note that DDL is used mainly to create, alter, and delete tables and the attributes. The data manipulation language is used to query one or more tables. It can also be used to insert, delete, and modify records in these tables. Let's first understand what a table means. In this case, we have a simple example of a table, and the table name is product. That is, the name is at the top of the product. Then we have its attributes. That is, we have the product name, we have the price, we have category, and the manufacturer. For each of these records, we have the rows or tuples, which contain the data on the products. Then we'll come across schemas. That is a schema, which is a table with its table name and its attribute. In this case, we have the schema of the product table, that is the product name and all its attribute. And the schema, we have what we call a key, and this is an attribute whose value are unique. We underline this key when defining them. And in this case, the P name is the key. Under table, let us also remember that tuple is a single record. Then a table is a set of tuples. That is like a list, but is unordered. And then we have data types in SQL. These are the atomic data types. We have characters. Characters can be represented using either of these, either the first one or the second one, depending on the number of characters we require. Then we have numbers. Numbers can be integers, can be big integers, can be small integers or float. And then we have the other data types, which include currency, that is money, and data type. For every attribute, there must be an atomic type, and thus the tables are considered FAT entries. Next, I will look at SQL queries. These are the question. Let's call them the question we ask to the database. And the basic form of every query is we have the select clause. And then after the select clause, we determine which attributes that we are interested, that we want to select from the database or the table. Then we have from, which select the specific table we are interested in and where we insert the condition. Here is a simple query under which we are querying the product table. We are using select and asterisk or the star, which means that we'll select all the attributes. Then we are selecting this from the product table, where condition is category is equals to gadgets. You can see under category we have gadgets, photography, and household. In this case, when this condition applies, we have two records that meets our condition. And this is our selection. We moved from 4 records to 2 records under which the category is gadgets. Let's also look at another selection where we are selecting the product name, the price, and the manufacturer. The original product table has the product name, we have the price, we have category, and we have the manufacturer. Then from this, we'll select the product name, price, and manufacturer from the product table where the price is more than 100. In this case, we should have these 2 entries, that is the single touch and multi-touch. Let's see what we get here. We are getting this because their prices are above $100. This is the schema from the original table. This is the new table created, that is the output schema. We should note that SQL is case insensitive. That is that we can use both the uppercase and lowercase. It doesn't matter because it's not case sensitive. Then let's look at another command from SQL, that is the like operator. Under this operator, it tests whether the pattern matches the given string. And in this case, we are selecting all the attributes from the product table and displaying the records that have a product name like Gizmo. Let's see. This should give us the product with the term Gizmo, that is the product name. Let's see how we eliminate duplicates. We said that a duplicate elimination is a key process, is a key step in data preprocessing, where we eliminate all the repeated entries. And in this case, we use the select distinct. We are interested in the category attribute from the product table. And when we compare the two, we'll notice that in our first entry, in our first query, we have 3 entries, and in our third, we have 4, because there is a repetition for the gadget category. After running a query and it meets the condition specified, we can then order these results in a specific way that we want. And in this case, we want to order the entries by the price and the product name. We'll select the product name, the price, and the manufacturer from the product table. The condition that we want to be met is the category to be Gizmo, and the price to be more than 50. And we order these by the price name and the product name. And here are an example of additional queries we can run and see what we get. Don't worry about this. We'll focus on this later on in our practical session. We'll look at each of these clauses, that is each of these commands and the applications. Then we have the primary keys and foreign keys. The primary key is a key that is not repeated, that uniquely identifies a record. In this case, we don't have a primary key. We have the foreign key. A foreign key is a key that is repeated in a second table, and it is used to connect the 2 tables. And a main application of primary key and foreign key is joining our tables. That is our simple introductory lesson on queries. And in our next lesson, we'll have a look at practical application of these queries. And thank you.